Previously, you may have heard me talk about the big three, and I've got, I think, four examples on the chart that I'm going to show uh, as in a comparative way. Because, by the way, the big three are Trend Red, Power Red, and Swing Zion. When those three are lowest, the 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 reaction is typically strong, and they go, for example, when they're lowest, they go up typically 2 to 4 days. When they're highest, and they typically, when all three are highest, they typically then the force comes down, or the price comes down. There are, for how it happened, we don't know, but for some reason, when those three are connected together as being lowest, they almost always react in a positive, uh, higher than normal price change. There's a few conditions that go along with that, as I'll convey on the video. But and the first one, I've got four examples here. The first two I want to compare, and that's the two pink vertical lines, because you've got trend red on this chart right here. You have a zip chart right in the next one down, then the power chart, and then at the bottom the swing chart. Oh, by the way, swing Zion and swing pink are interchangeable in the big three. You can have a trend red lowest and a power red lowest and a swing pink lowest, and that still qualifies for the big three. Also, the zip chart, zip red, constitutes a big four, if you will, category. And big fours, you can see what this right pink line, we do have a big four here, and you can see how that difference there versus the other pink line, which is flat for several days. The difference, when you look at these patterns, the difference that you can see, or the idea that you can grab a hold of, is associated with the zip yellow line. When the zip yellow, and obviously the zip red is low, zip red's at 4, zip yellow is at 2. Oftentimes the zip blue or the zip yellow are lowest in a big move like this. And in addition to this, we have low angles down in all the indicators. And when you have a low angle down scenario, that's almost an automatic. You can have a spike down and hope excuse me, and hope it goes up the next day, and based on certain indicators you can tell. But when you have low angles down, that's like an automatic. It's going to go up the next day. High probability chance. Now, notice that the pink line on the left has the zip yellow above 50, and what's at the bottom in the zip chart is your red and pink. Zip red is at 5, zip pink is also at 5. Zip red is just a little bit under it, according to the data window. And in this comparison that I'm attempting to make here, when you can find a zip yellow lowest with the big three, it's just an excellent opportunity for an uptrend. In theory, because the zip yellow is going to climb up. Now, if you look at the green line has a higher yellow, and this one is under 50, and it remains pretty flat there for, looks like, for about 4 days before the yellow line starts going up, and then of course you see the 6 or 8 green candles after that. And so again, all 3 of these lines were down. You had a big 3 down. You really didn't, in this example with the green line, with red with zip red on the green line at 15, it's really not a big 4 move, because zip red is not low like it was on these 2 over here. And so even though the left pink line could technically be qualified as a zip 4, personally I know just by visual observation that you also want the yellow line with you. And when you do have the yellow line with you and the big 3 at the same time, it's almost always a big move, as it is in the right pink line. In the red line, we have again, we have all 4 down. In this case, zip red is at 2, so it's good to see that. However, zip yellow is high, and so technically we are in a red spike, which tells us that's great. That tells us next day it's going up. But when we follow through and we go into the next day, we run into a red-green twin bottom. And so now we know a red-green twin bottom is another up day signal, next day up, but it possibly didn't go up as much as we could have. Obviously, we don't know that when we see what we have. But you can note here in this example on the red vertical line that all lines are in spikes down. There's no line in a low angle down. So you're not absolutely positive. I mean, I would be positive that's going up the next day simply because you've got a red spike at the same time here with your big 3 down. But you obviously don't know the degree at which it's going to go up. Now, that being said, I want to compare or move the price up. I want to compare one more by moving this line over, and we have a W, how do I say this? We have a W pattern, but in this particular example here where we think we have a low, we're in a right leg W on the trend red, and the power red we're on the first day, and on the zip Zion we're on the first day. And we obviously can't tell from we think we're in a right leg OK pattern, or at least most of the time you do, but you need to examine it and see where you're at. And you can tell now by the expansion in this chart that we have a right leg W lower pattern. And those are not good compared to a right leg higher W pattern, right leg W higher pattern. So by doing some checking, and also we have the zip pink that has, this is actually an extended diving board, we call it. When the pink continues out past the green has gone up and the pink continues out. Usually it only goes out for 1 day, but in this case here we're out 4 days, and then it goes into a 5th day, and then the green comes back down under it again. So, and that's the W that we're looking at. So when you get them, like for example in the power chart, you have for not the day before this red vertical line, but 2, 3, 4 days before that, excuse me, power red was real flat. and that's not a good sign. And so you just basically stay away from that type of indicator activity. The indicators are fantastic. The indicators will tell you what's happening. It takes a while to learn the system, but I kid you not, each day that you work the system, you learn more, and I would recommend that you listen to a lot of videos before you even go live with it. And if you have an opportunity to trade with the simulator, that's better, because that's a very effective tool at TradeStation. So, and we do have a free trial, and so take advantage of that. But the system is great. The indicators are the heart of the entire system. Without the indicators, we wouldn't have a system. You know, you can talk about the three-step formula. You can talk about the different powers that are within the system that are defined in that three-step formula. But I kid you not, the indicators are the heart of what makes the day trading Visual Basics system. And we're glad